Can you imagine living in a world where bodies hanging from bridges become a grim reminder of escalating drug violence? This is the reality for citizens of Ecuador as the country grapples with a spiraling drug crisis. The story begins around 2016 with the rise in drug violence. The country's proximity to coca-producing countries and the presence of criminal gangs with ties to Mexican drug cartels made Ecuador a significant drug transshipment point. An attempt was made to legitimize gangs and incorporate them into civic life, which led to a decrease in murder rates. However, this approach was short-lived. The influx of cocaine from Colombia and the closure of ports during the pandemic exacerbated the situation. Austerity measures and reduced rehabilitation programs in prisons added fuel to the fire. The country saw a shocking rise in violence, with the number of murders in Ecuador increasing by over 80% in 2021. A significant number of these deaths occurred in prisons. An alarming incident that epitomizes the escalating drug violence was the discovery of two bodies hanging from a bridge in a neighborhood outside Guayaquil, a major port city. The police are investigating whether the murders are connected to the recent seizure of 7 tons of cocaine in Guayaquil. The crisis reached a tipping point when President Guillermo Lasso declared a state of emergency and deployed troops to address the violence. This action came in response to rival gangs, such as the Chone Killers, vying for control over the drug trade in Guayaquil. The drug crisis in Ecuador is also linked to international drug trafficking networks. Oscar Adriano Quintero Rengifo, a Colombian drug lord known as the Prince of Semi-Submersibles, was sentenced to over 20 years in prison for operating a fleet of narco-submarines that smuggled cocaine into the U.S. from South America. This organization's operations highlight the transnational nature of the drug crisis. In summary, Ecuador's drug crisis has escalated due to a combination of factors. These include the country's role as a significant drug transshipment point, austerity measures, reduced rehabilitation programs in prisons, and an influx of cocaine from Colombia. The government's response, declaring a state of emergency, signifies the gravity of the situation. As the crisis continues to unfold, it is clear that a multifaceted approach is needed, addressing not only the symptoms of the drug crisis, but also its root causes. This includes tackling economic issues, improving prison conditions, and addressing the international nature of the drug trade.